Bombshell, 17,000 pages. Expose Biden-Harris regime. Good evening and welcome. Tonight we have a story that strikes at the very heart of our republic. This isn't some partisan squabble, folks. This is about the fundamental right to think for yourself. Breaking bombshell report exposed. The House Weaponization Subcommittee. And let me tell you, they've been fighting tooth and nail against the swamp to get you this information. Just dropped 17,000 pages proving the Biden-Harris regime turned the federal government into a weapon against you. Against you, your family, your values, your very way of life. We're talking big tech censorship, DOJ retaliation, even 2020 election interference. This isn't speculation, this is documented. They thought they could bury it, but tonight, we expose it. Let's start with what we all knew, but now we can prove it. Remember when you tried to share that article, that opinion, that fact that just didn't fit the narrative? And suddenly, you were shadow banned, your reach limited, your voice silenced. Well, guess what? You weren't paranoid, you were right. Mark Zuckerberg himself, the hoodie-wearing billionaire, admitted it. Facebook, under pressure, under orders from the Biden-Harris White House, censored Americans. Your free speech wasn't just ignored, it was actively silenced by a coordinated effort at the highest levels of power. They decided what you could and couldn't see, what you could and couldn't say. This is the digital public square, folks. And they turned it into their own private echo chamber. And the worst part? They think they're the good guys. They believe they're saving democracy by silencing you. And it gets worse. Much worse. Because when brave individuals, patriots who saw what was happening, tried to speak out, they were crushed. These whistleblowers from within the DOJ, the FBI, they knew the truth about the corruption, the weaponization, and they tried to warn us, but the Biden-Harris regime, they couldn't have that, could they? So these heroes, these men and women of conscience, they were threatened, they were demoted, their careers destroyed. Their crime? Telling the truth. The House Subcommittee fought, and they won, to ensure these voices were finally heard. They shined a light on the lengths this administration will go to silence dissent. They will crush anyone, destroy anyone who dares to question their power. Chapter 3, First Amendment Defense. Now you might think this is all just about politics, about Democrats versus Republicans, but it's much bigger than that. This is about control. This is about an unelected elite deciding they know better than you. They created these organizations, shadowy groups with innocuous-sounding names like the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, GARM. Sounds nice, right? But their goal was to censor you, to control the flow of information, to decide what you could and couldn't see online. But thanks to the tireless work of the House Subcommittee, GARM and its ilk, they've been exposed. Their policies designed to suppress your voice obliterated. This is a victory, folks, but the fight is far from over. Chapter 4, Weaponized Federal Law Enforcement. Because it wasn't just big tech, it was your own government. The people who are supposed to protect you, they were weaponized against you. The IRS, the DOJ, turned into political attack dogs, targeting anyone who dared to disagree with the Biden-Harris agenda. We've heard the stories, seen the evidence conservative groups targeted, audits used as weapons, the power of the federal government unleashed on ordinary Americans. This is what tyranny looks like. This is what happens when those in power believe they are above the law. Yes, there have been some policy changes, some attempts at damage control, but only after lives were ruined, livelihoods destroyed, only after the damage was done. Chapter 5, Election Interference Bombshell. And then there's the big one, the one they thought they could bury forever, the 2020 election. We all remember the Hunter Biden laptop story, dismissed as Russian disinformation, right? Well, guess what? It was true. And the Biden campaign knew it. 51 former intelligence officials, 51. They colluded, they conspired to suppress this information. They interfered in our election, plain and simple. They lied to the American people, and they did it to get their guy elected. This is corruption on a scale we haven't seen in our lifetime. This is an assault on our democracy. And the mainstream media, they were complicit every step of the way. They knew, or they should have known, and they chose to look the other way. The fight continues. We are at a crossroads in this country. This isn't just about corruption, it's about a systematic effort to undermine your freedoms and your voice. They want to control what you think, what you say, how you live your life, but the truth is out there. The final report, all 17,000 pages of it, lays out undeniable evidence of federal overreach and political weaponization. 17,000 pages of pure governmental misconduct. America, the truth is finally being revealed. What will you do with it?